Hello and welcome. Let me get you fixed here. Thank you so much for booking a reading. I'm here to deliver. Okay, let's go ahead and go over your questions. You said, which empress or goddess am I returned? What is my divine mission? Why am I guided to do something by water? You said you have many powers without using ambulance or other things. So you said, what do your spirits want you to awaken now? You said, what prophecies will be fulfilled through me? So you have psychic development coming out. So really, that kind of entails you developing all your gifts, if you ask me, especially with the psychic development card coming out already. But if there's something specific, I will get to that. As far as which empress or goddess are you returned, that's not really something that I would be able to answer. Not to say that it couldn't be answered, but I don't think I would be able to answer that. One, because I don't know all the goddesses that exist. And when I think of goddesses, I really think of, which some people have that energy. It just depends. Because there are many different religions and deities. Many. So I don't even know all of them myself. But I think there's just one rare occasion where I think somebody was actually returned or from a past life. But they were like a, what is it called? A queen of something. Can't think of what it was, but that's what they were. They were actual physical being. When I think of an empress or a goddess or kind of like a goddess energy, that seems like it's supernatural. And even that I couldn't say. Within African, some African religions, within Ifa, you may be the child of a deity, but it doesn't mean that you're exactly that deity, if that makes sense. But what I was going to say is that you can go to someone who knows like hypnosis, that can give you like a past life regression, and then you can channel like some of your past lives. I've had a past life reading myself, but even in that, you know, it's not really like, it's very vague, okay? Sometimes you can find deep information, but you know, one of the lives I was just a regular person that enjoyed being in the market. That's why I love to sell and create things. So it's not just, okay, you were just the goddess and that's it. You know, it just depends, because you might have been, you might not have been. One of my past lives, I was like a someone who drew things on the Egyptian tombs, but I think it was like a slave or something. But yeah, it just depends. Which I know I couldn't tell you, because I don't even know all the goddesses and empresses that exist. But I don't even know if you're talking about like just on a supernatural level, or on like just a queen and king type of level. But where's Isis stick at? Let me see. Even my bones, because I can use my bones to tell me whether you have whose energy you have mostly, but I don't have all of them in there. All of the Orishas, the female Orishas in there. That would be what I would do to closely relate you to who you might be in the past, but I don't have all the Orishas in there. Honestly, it's too many to name. So what I can do for that question, because I still like to ask, just what energy do you relate to the most? You can also do, because anything you get from somebody else, you can get for yourself. But you would have to know how. I would recommend you still have somebody with you if you're going to do a past life regression on yourself. Go and do deep meditation to see who you are. If you like water, more than likely you would relate to more water goddesses than anything. Two things, okay. All right, let me channel your energy and see if I get a vision of anything, and then I'm gonna get into the cards real quick. Let's see if they show me anything. I'm hearing a few different things. Number one, there's masculine energy too, which I forgot about that. But you may not have just been a woman in one of your past lives. There's masculine energy too. There's also fire. I don't know how that relates, but some type of fire. I also see flight. You do get messages through your dreams, though. Okay. A lot of ancestors live through you. Because it shows ancestry. A lot of things transitioning down. I also see this as gifts, one by one, eventually awakening in you. So even outside of looking at it like it's another being that you might have been before time, you are your ancestors. So whatever they were will live through you, okay? I seen someone who was heavily associated with magic, but it was a very, very vague vision. So let me look and see what this is here, okay? Try to speed it up, but I don't want to have to read too much. Okay, so you got the Mambo. The Mambo was your first card. So this is a queen. Ooh, she's the queen of air. Let's see. Okay. So this card shows traits of individuality, king, observation, accuracy of perception. She is graceful and loves dancing and any activity that involves balancing. Okay, so this basically means that a part of you in the past is a person that, I guess that's why I've seen visions, perception high above the sky. Like you, I don't know if you relate to the bird, but you would have a lot of similarities with a bird. A bird can see far beyond what they're supposed to see. They get an overall visual, and it's really, really high up in the sky. So, keen perception is actually very, very accurate for what I've seen. This basically means if anything, well, that would make sense why your other reading was like that too. Able to pick up any dark energy around you and cut it off. I don't know what other way to say that. You know, I try to relate to what it's talking about, but I try to also make it make sense. But basically, you can see, well, I don't want to, disassociate the snake, but as I like to say, you can see any snakes in the grass and you can cut it off. Very keen of observation and accuracy of perception. So this basically means if these spirits have been corrupted by magic or harmful action, it may be necessary to symbolically remove and reset the head. So that's what she's doing. She's resetting herself. cutting out any illusion, any blockages, things like that. So let's see what this is. So very much a healer too. And I'm going to get into life path in a minute. This is another air card too. This shows being highly intelligent but lacks firmness. I'll go to the next one. It's kind of like you see both sides of a story so they can end up contradicting each other. You seek a lot of balance. Hold on, let me hurry up and get through that one real quick. Just want to see what they're talking about. Okay, so this is the feathered sky serpent. The rainbow is the bridge between the heavens and the earth, a road the great invisibles may walk. Here, water is a creative force. This is kind of weird. So with this card, you also got Agwe, and that's right here, which I may briefly touch on that, but I have to move on. So I'm going to come back, if I have time, come back to these cards right here. But this card kind of gets into water flowing through the body, so you can pick up on things based on where you feel it in the body. But that goes way deeper, but I feel like it relates to a gift. That's why I want to bring it up, because you may feel things. I guess you can just say it's emotions. That's what I call it. Emotions running through your body. Like for me, if I feel a heavy heart, I know that a person may be going through something within their heart. They may be having something heavy on their heart, or something that happened to them within the heart. Basically, energy running through me, it'll direct it through my own body. I can feel it through my own body. This kind of shows that in the past life, or the past, I say the past because it could just be within your ancestry, because a lot of your gifts just comes from your ancestors, really. So if they were goddesses, that's what you are. Whatever they were, that's what you are. So it's kind of like being put into place to remember that. But this kind of tells me that good connection to the spirit realm, because the rainbow is basically a gateway to the spirit realm, from heaven to earth, to receive messages as well. But when I see that, that kind of makes me feel like if you got into it enough, if you kind of opened up your senses, which they're probably already open, you probably already experienced some of the stuff already, but just getting more deeper into that, you can kind of pick up on things through your own body. Wherever you might feel pressure or might feel pain is where someone else is going to feel it, if that makes sense. Okay, so let me put this belt right here. Okay. So you jumped into, what is my divine mission? Okay. I feel like these questions kind of relate to one another, but and I might still pull from this deck, but I don't want to take up too much time, because life path takes a minute to do. Okay. Me, you seem like some type of healer. And when I say healer, you may have keen perception to help someone. But we're going to see what the ancestors have to say. This does not limit you to your life purpose. I have to remind people of that, because you will have many soul missions. But whatever the ancestors want me to talk about right now is what I'm going to talk about. Let's see. We got yep. Sojourners, you are a protector as well. Top. And the grandmother in reverse. Okay, so primarily in your energy, you have the teacher, the mother soul, and the joker. So let's see what that entails for you. And this won't take long because I'm going to read it out loud for you. It takes a little bit, but it's not going to take much time. The Voodoo Tarot takes a lot longer because it's complex to explain. So I have to break it down to where people will understand what I'm talking about. So let's start off with the teacher. Sooner we get to it. Okay, there it is. All right. So as it starts out, ancestral wisdom is what this card basically means on your waking path. Your waking path is when you are living in your truth. You're living as a teacher. Okay, so it says on the waking path, the teacher brings wisdom from life experiences. You trust the wisdom in your bones and impart this wisdom to all. You hold the lessons in life as wisdom we can embrace no matter who we are. Your lessons or sermons invoke deep thought and a thirst for more knowing about this nature of life. You tell stories by which we can learn who we are. You connect us to our natural indigenous self that existed before our birth. As a teacher, you encourage discovery. You urge us to go and look beyond what we see with our eyes. You can decipher confusion and make sense out of this puzzle of life. Your essence is to help us realize our capacities to fly. You stay on the waking path by knowing that you must also remain a student in order to teach. As an awake teacher, you are a mentor, a parent, and a holder of wisdom. Okay. So basically, don't doubt your knowledge. Teachers typically may go through a lot in life, but it is because they have lessons to teach. Okay, that's the way that I like to look at it. Never, a struggle without something coming out of that struggle. Okay, so if you've experienced a lot through life, a lot of times it's to awaken that side of yourself that becomes a teacher. Well, I've experienced this and I don't want anybody else going through that. So I'm going to tell them how to prevent that, or I'm going to tell them the experience I had so that they can learn from it and they can hear my story. Or, preparing people for things, not even always all bad. It doesn't have to be all bad, but basically just guiding people along their lives. The more you learn about your indigenous self, the more you learn about your heritage, the more you can teach others, basically. Not everybody can be teachers because not everybody wants to experience everything or have an experience of a little bit of everything. Ancestral wisdom. Again, this brings me back to this card right here, because a lot of things that you will awaken are already with you. Okay, so it's kind of like you really just need to believe in yourself. Okay, so let me go to the Mother Soul. All right, what's the Mother Soul? Soul revival. Okay, the Mother Soul holds the shrine on which we place our sadness and joy. When tears fall upon your cheeks, they may not belong to you. When you laugh without knowing the reason, you may be in the energy of the Mother Soul. As Mother Soul, you hold the feelings and emotions of self and others. You have the capacity to embrace the deepest experience. You are so sensitive, you may have to protect yourself from people who are constantly in their emotions. People come to you when they are experiencing major turning points in their lives. Alright. Let's see. You comfort, you kiss, you smile, you give love with no expectations. On the waking path, you are restored and rejuvenated. You feel energetic and find life full and satisfying. You are able to access the spring of wellness with this capacity to help others awaken to the ways in which they suffer. Wellness is imprinted on your bones. This is why I feel like a lot of times, again, I don't know if this has already happened with you or started with you, but if you pick up on things emotionally, or like I said, it could even be physical pain, but nobody wants that. But if it does happen, it's because it's not just happening. I'm sorry, can't even speak. It could be because you're picking up on other people's energy. Okay, so if somebody in the room is having back pain, you may feel pressure in your back. So you might ask, is anybody in here feeling some back pain? Basically, I don't know how to explain that, but everything, it might be connected to your emotions. Because a part of your divine mission is not necessarily holding people together. But then again, in a way it is. Okay, in a way it is. Okay, because you kind of I just don't like looking at it like that. I don't like looking at it like, okay, everybody can just, put their problems out on you, because you still have to protect yourself. You still have to protect your energy and not let people just drop a load on you every day. Mm. Let me get some guidance on that. Because that can be kind of challenging. And I'm going to read the rest of these too. But that can be just kind of challenging, because you may find yourself, it's kind of like, again, natural born empath, natural born healer, but at the same time, as you're healing, you will take on the emotions very, very strongly, okay? So, in a sense, it's a good thing that you might be able to pick up on people's emotions, and it's also a good thing that it's your mission to help people, but you just have to kind of keep that under control. Okay, so that's the guidance, I guess I'm looking to say. Grounding. You will have to stay very, very grounded. Perception and unlimited possibilities. So I look at that as there's like many places that you can take the gift. So you kind of have to be really in balance. So when I say many places to take the gift, career-wise, if you ever wanted to get serious about your healing, or if you ever wanted to get serious about helping other people, just in any form, but you have to remain balanced first before you can kind of extend yourself, basically. So if you are not grounded, and you're never going to be completely balanced, but if you are not grounded emotionally, I wouldn't suggest you extend your hand too much, because people are going to feel drawn to you just regardless. That's what that's saying. So basically, if I broke up with my boyfriend yesterday and I'm just a hot mess, I might be drawn to your energy, because I know that you can help me. I know that you have the energy. You can feel what I feel. You can understand what I'm going through. But that's not healthy for me to do that every single day. So just watch that energy. Still a part of your divine mission, but it's still something that you should be careful about. Okay. So the Joker kind of relates to the mother soul, so I'm not really going to go over that, but it kind of just represents, you can kind of put people back on track. You can let people know that, hey, you messed up, but it's okay. Everything will be all right. You'll get it back together. things like that. So you can shift energy, basically, is what that means. But you also have the changer, which is ever evolving. So what this means is you are the transformation. You are transformation manifested in a human soul. You embody change from deep within. On the waking path, new and wonderful things come through you. When people are in your company for a period of time, they don't know what hit them. Suddenly, they have shifted by being in a relationship with you. Okay? Primarily, you create a metamorphosis in others' values and beliefs. People are easily influenced or convinced by what you do or say. Yet the shifting of values and beliefs within you and in others can create chaos for those who want to maintain the status quo. Leave things as they are. The chaos is is by the fact that you are also constantly evolving. People can become uncomfortable with your evolution. Thus, you may frequently suffer the loss of friendships, but at the same time, your evolution can lead to enjoying a wonderful, diverse group of acquaintances. Transitioning through changes is a serious work for you as you accept each and every turning point in your life. As you transform, you develop a deep sense of trust and faith within your life. So basically, you're always going to be elevating, especially as a teacher. The more stuff that you learn, the more you're going to transition and ascend. The more you're going to get closer to divine knowledge, you know? So you're always going to be changing. But the good thing is, because you are the changer, again, this is why you may experience a lot of things. This is why you may go through a lot of things in life, because you're supposed to be the teacher. You're also supposed to be the changer. So once you learn some information that might even help a person even more than it was before, you may come into their world and say, hey, you can do this a little bit differently, and you may see some different results. Or if, say for instance, I don't know if you're still, well, let's speak about religion. If you came into my life and I was still a Christian and you told me some information about spirituality, I may get mad at you, but at the same time, years later, I will be thanking you, because I will be like, wow, just her speaking to me changed my perception a little bit, and I was kind of denying it, but she was able to get in my spirit and change my perception. Okay. So it doesn't mean you have to force any information on people, but the people that you come around, you might often find yourself speaking about things that either they're comfortable with or they may not be comfortable with. But either way, that is your place. You are supposed to speak on things that you feel might help the world or might make a difference. Okay, so that is your path. All right, so we are pressed for time, but let me look at your other questions here. Here. Water is where you get your most healing from. Okay, and it's kind of like that for everybody, but some people, they're just connected to more elements than the other. Okay, and yours to me would be fire and water, but You know, water is where you heal. Water is where you gain your clarity. It's also a place where you can connect to your ancestors and other spirit guides as well, okay? Because you have spirits coming in. Honestly, it seems like you feel like you want to go by water a lot of times when you're going through stuff. Yeah, when you go through the most type of stuff, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, child. But basically, when you're going through a rough time, or when you're feeling like, you know, you're being manipulated, or any type of energy that might be negative, you might feel, you know, drawn to go to the water. But water is where you receive clarity. It's also where you'll understand most of your emotions. Because this is like not having strength. But you go by the water to see things a little bit more clearly. What's really underneath the surface. So this is where you gain a lot of clarity. So I would recommend you getting a water fountain, going by a lake. Things like that will give you clarity on situations in your life that you may feel like, something ain't right, or why am I going through all of this? But you go by the water and you'll start hearing things. You'll start feeling connected to the spirits of the water. That's where our ancestors reside. And I've heard people seeing ancestors kind of floating on the lake. So yes, if you go there, you not only get a little bit of clarity and healing, but you may also experience spiritual things that can help you as well. And again, if you get a past life reading, you may have been a water goddess too. So I don't want to, say it's not that either. But what's on the surface is the fact that you can get a lot of clarity from water. Looks like I honestly see you doing something with herbs and stuff, okay? I don't know what it is with you and the snake, but yeah. It's all full. Okay. So prepare for ritual spell work is needed. So basically, which I don't know if they pulled out a gift or not, but the first thing that pops up is just you getting more connected to roots and herbs and things of that nature, getting more connected to your spell work, because spell work helps balance out your life. Rather we want, it doesn't matter what way you look at it, okay? You can look at it as a spell, you can look at it as manifestation, you can look at it as just having a ritual to bring abundance in your life, to clear out negativity. But whatever it is, you need to prepare. I don't know what it is with relationship stuff, but you have your ancestors really coming through to communicate about relationships. Actually, they can actually speak to you, because a lot of times when my voice is caught up like that, that's somebody trying to get through. But child, I don't got the energy. All right, so we have I can't recall the last time I took advice from anyone. So again, going by water to get clarity on how you feel. You also have in your energy lacking chemistry. So you need to identify where the chemistry is lacking, and you have let go, a new path awaits you. You have, you knew I was a snake when you took me in. You have, I am releasing trauma, deep pain. You also have seek a good ass shaman. So this typically means, number one, you becoming a shaman, but also looking for somewhere where you can feel comfortable with learning. Okay, learning more about shamanistic things, Um, yeah, like I say, shamanistic things. I was gonna say witches and all that kind of stuff, but you don't even have to go there. It's all the same stuff. Looking at other healers, it's hard to find a teacher. I want to say maybe you can find someone who could tutor your gifts and more so bring them out of you, but it's hard to find one. But this is telling you that you could seek one out. But that's where I see you. Like your gifts will come out when you start doing some manifestation work. And the first part is understanding your feelings right now, because I don't know what it is that's bothering you with, you know, the snake person and the lack of chemistry, but that's got to get under control too before any gifts and all that kind of stuff, because you already are highly empathic. Okay, so that is your reading. I'm going to go ahead and send this over to you, and you have a great and wonderful day.